is insanely beautiful. And we're starting. Jesus Christ. Sometimes the Lord can be insanely cruel. Why must he show me a woman of such caliber if I'm never going to meet her? You know? Just so cruel, so mean. So mean. It's like, come on, Lord. Come on, man. Oh god. So cruel. Needlessly cruel. Needlessly so. Oh, there you go.
These
Alright. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get this dub. Let us get the dub. Alright. We are so close. So close to 60. Please. So close to 60. We're just inching closer and closer. Think okay. Whew. Suspense is killing me. painting feet is very difficult, strangely enough. Also hands. It's also a pain. Are you serious? Well, at least the model doesn't look screwed. This is what happens when you try to merge all your layers. It's gonna be fly feet. You know what? How do I imply this? How do I imply feet? Back to I'll get back to this piece in a minute. I feel like I I need to do this. I need to finish the feat. I need to finish the feat. Because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm having imposter syndrome in my own, I'm having imposter syndrome in my own stream. It's wild. That's impossible. Yo, what up, Big Toe? What up, dog? Bro, Big Toe. Big news. We are one sub away from 60. One sub away from 60, if you can believe it. We really out here. One sub away from 60. Yes, let's go. I'd like to see that enthusiasm. Let's go. That is, of course it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's good. It's just you know, it's just hard work. You know, active. We're getting active out here in this boring painting stream. It is awesome. Of course it is. All I need to do is just keep on streaming again and again and again. And I have to say, I don't know, sitting, strangely enough, you can see 100 subs being achieved one day. You know what? The goal, Big Toe, the goal for me is 100 subs being achieved possibly before December. Like, I would love that. I would love that. Because it gives me a head start. Also, if I could just reach, I don't know, 1,000, or maybe something like slightly below that, like, I don't know, maybe like maybe 500, 600 at the most. Oh, you already know. I'm crowdfunding. I don't have a project in mind yet. Probably gonna have to come up with like an art book or something. Probably Zoop it. Because I have an old um, I have an old high school classmate who is essentially like he made an art book, and he got reasonably successful at it. Space Cat, sick. Why, thank you, Space Cat. Sorry for the spacing out. You know? I was looking at Zoop, a crowdfunding website. Where Space Cat, that is a badass name, I gotta say. Space Cat. I had a comic idea when I was like younger. The comic book idea was Ninja Cat, and the Ninja Cat fought against fascistic Nazi German shepherds. You know, I have sketches of essentially Ninja Cat just you know slicing up Nazi dogs. It's stupid, but when you're when you're in the when you're facing the pandemic, you know, what do you have to lose? Space Cat. It's wild. It's like no one's ever made a movie or a cartoon that's named Space Cat. And despite the fact that, cats do insanely well on the internet, they've never tried it. Dan, how's it going? Dan the man. Danny boy. We're so close to 60. This is cause for celebration. Oh man. Okay, give me a second. This is cause for celebration. If we can achieve of course, if we can achieve 60, we're that closer to our goal. Well, I don't know if it's our goal. Maybe this is just me taking advantage of the parasocial dynamic that streamers have with their fans. I don't want to do that. You know what? I'll make it personal. My goal. How about that? Yes, it's perfect. My goal of crowdfunding a book Granted, I think I do need to, finish the book first, so that way I can, have trust and be able to make this viable. But one thing I have like a problem with is speed. I am slow when it comes to making books. Very slow. Pathetically slow. So, if I have a crowdfunding idea, it's probably just going to be an art book of like illustrations that I plan on making. Just a sketch collection, small sketch collection. See how that does. And then boom, watch that go gangbusters. And by gangbusters, become moderately successful. I'm aiming for moderate success. If I could have some type of moderate success, then maybe I can have enough confidence to be emboldened to, pursue this more. Perhaps, say, not have my day job anymore. But then again, we're like way too early, and way too early to say. So, I think one thing we should just worry about is I should pray to the Lord that I'm not hard stuck at like the double digits. Because that would be a hassle. It's like I can't do it. I can't move up. I'm further from my goals. Nah. But that's just me being focused on my ambitions. So, Dan, Big Toe, how are things? Because right now for me, between like work and this, I think, that's, I think how I'm doing is kind of explanatory. Man, it's muddy now. Got muddy colors. What say thou? What say thee? Dan the Man and Big Toe? You guys good? Living day to day, I guess? Alright. It do be like that. It do be like that. It do be like that. Dan the Man. Dan the Man. Okay, just a couple more touches. Space Cat and Big Toe. Space Cat, Big Toe, and Dan the Man. Big toe is a fish. Alright. Well, some could argue that big toe, like some toes, some fishes are shaped like toes. They just have that shape. The fish in my pic has toes. Nice. Don't I see the sneakers? Well, no, because it's so small. Wow. No. Was that a yawn? No. Because I'm so high energy. I'm not bored to tears. Uh, was this really necessary? I mean, but at the same time, I wanted to have this design have more character. Is that frankincense monster? Well, I don't know if frankincense is an herb is a monster, but it's Frankenstein's monster, yes. See, I'm kind of like, I'm making like a redesign of him. I made this, but then, it's like, I wanted to have this have a bit more character. I wanted him to, like have more personnel. You spelled it wrong? Hey, don't worry, man. Happens to the best of us. I wanted him to have more character. Like in the comic, no, not in the comic book. In the original novel, the monster was essentially he was like very spiteful, and very like I think not resentful, because essentially he was lonely for all his life, and he was shunned by society because of how he looked, and essentially as he kind of like went through life, he kind of like survived off of off of berries, and he was a vegetarian, but like essentially he scrunged what he had, like he wears tattered rags. He wears, he doesn't have shoes because, well, how can he get shoes? He can't like see a cobbler. The cobbler would probably run away. Like, he's the one thing that he wants is basically, it's like he wants to, get away from human society. He wants to have a wife. Which, yeah, hey man, join the club. I want a wife too. Matter of fact, it's kind of stupid. I think it's like in my head, if I ever manage to, accomplish what I want to accomplish, the one thing, my next goal would be to find a girlfriend. Now, this was a joke, but at the same time, it's like, it was like, it's like, haha, that's not funny. That's a bit too painful. It's like, damn it. Damn, are we that down bad? Are we that lonely? Damn. It's like, it's intrusive thoughts, You know, they get you down sometimes. But that doesn't matter now, because right now, if I could just get these feet to look right. You know, Ryan always told me to basically kind of like work on my line work, and you know, it's just, I don't know. But yeah, this is Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein's monster, yes. Aw, nice. Thank you, Liz, overcomplicates everything. This took me weeks, if you could believe it. This was super hard. I thought that said Bob. Nope, it says be right back. BRB. Because sometimes when I need to help my parents out with something, or get water, or stretch my legs after streaming for hours on end, I. You can believe it, looks insanely good. Thank you, man. Or miss. Thank you, ma'am. Or. Uh. Descent. You? Oh, you're talking to Star Tunes. Or Dan the Man. Man, this is hard. It looks muddy, but maybe that works in Frankenstein's favor. It should also be more tattered. Right, I think my shirt folds are amazing. Why, thank you. I always thought they were pretty bad, but you know. Thank you for giving me confidence in my shirt folds. I mean, quite frankly, I think the next morning I'm probably gonna have to do studies on shirt folds. Make sure I really, just nail them down. Because so far. Who told you they were bad? I don't know, myself. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I shouldn't do that, but I do. I do. Because I'm passionate about this. And I want to be good. I want to make money out of this. I want to show myself that this can be a viable career. Even in this age of, terrible job markets and, stupid AI. AI. Artificial intelligence. Frankenstein's monster is fascinating to me. It was awesome opening your stream up to the surprise. Yeah, yeah, no, of course. It's also very fascinating to me. That's oh my god. Wait, hold on. I have multiple projects that center around Frankenstein. If you actually believe it. Hold on. Monster. Oh, here you go. There's 8 people in the stream now. That's awesome. Okay, I have multiple projects when it comes to Frankenstein. Okay, so basically, here's like my actual concept for Frankenstein, and I had an idea for like a monster fighting game, like Street Fighter or King of the Fighters, but with monsters. Okay, so basically here is Frankenstein. You know, we made it. 60 subscribers. Let's go. Let's go. Also, Cassie just subscribed. My style is really cool. Why, thank you, Cass. Thank you, Cass. And thank you, Cass, for helping me reach the milestone of 60 subscribers. Thank you. Because of you, I am closer to this goal. Alright, so Monster Fighters. This is essentially Frankenstein. And his backstory is kind of like, it's very similar to to this guy, but it's more Road to 100. Yes, baby, you know it. Big Toe, you know it. It's very similar to the regular Frankenstein, but it differs when he meets a little girl and saves her from drowning. At first, her father sees him and is like, "Oh, monster!" Shoots at him, basically chases him away. But the girl, of course, moved by this guy's kindness, essentially kind of like, sneaks out, finds him, and essentially, feeds him food. At first, he's not exactly a big fan of meat. He's a vegetarian. And so basically she comes back, she gets some berries, at some point he basically gives him a home in the church with a blind priest, and over time, he familiarizes himself with the Bible and hold on, the Bible and Paradise Lost, and essentially he you usually hate streams, but you love this. Thank you. Thank you for making me feel special. Quite frankly, I normally thought my streams were boring, but I mean, guess I was wrong. Essentially, over time, he knows, he starts to become familiar and know what he experiences human warmth, and instead of becoming this very angry, resentful monster, he essentially is becomes this more happy-go-lucky nice guy. And then that's when the village that the girl lives at is run by vampires, and this is where hold on. This is different. Where's the move set? Monster. Frank. No. Pooh. Pooh. Frank. Nope. Move set. Yes, moves. Frank. And this is where this is where Frank becomes way more active in the story. He kind of starts as a protector. And in the fighting game, I gave him essentially kind of fighting moves. One move over here is essentially just Frank grabbing the enemy, and essentially kind of like he's made alive through electricity. So essentially, he uses the electricity that that runs through his body to essentially electrocute the enemy, and then headbutts him to the ground. And then of course you have the regular punch moves, and then like the move is essentially kind of like Frank grabs the enemy, jumps into the sky, he gets hit by a lightning bolt, and then rockets back down. That's a special move. And then of course you have the Mummy. And I have dozens of ideas with Frankenstein. He's a very the idea of Frankenstein is a very timeless, very very fascinating character that delves into the duality of man and playing God, and what turns man, what is truly a monster, because throughout the book, Frankenstein, in the original novel, was essentially kind of like a very lonely creature who just wanted connection, and then over time, through his continual rejection of society, he turns into a monster, and then of course you have Dr. Frankenstein, who plays God by creating this creature, and essentially he abandons this creature. And instead of facing it, he constantly just runs away. Dr. Frankenstein in and of himself can also be labeled a monster. But yeah, I know it's super fascinating, very fascinating. And I quite frankly cannot wait for the Guillermo del Toro movie about him, with Oscar Isaac and then Jacob Elordi from Euphoria. The designs look so cool. Thank you. I think they look cool too. I've yet to finish it, but maybe after this, and also, this, I'll be able to kind of finish this. Maybe I could turn this to a comic. That could be my crowdfunding thing. It'd be super cool. Release it on Halloween. Make buku dollars. Buy an island. No. Bro just casually drops even more jaw-dropping art. WTF? I mean, jaw-dropping. I don't know about jaw-dropping. Hey, come on, man. Come on. I'm not that great. There are so many artists who are better than me. Come on. But thank you. I'll take the compliment. Buy yourself that island? Yes. I'm gonna buy that island and use the island to bribe a conservative politician and all stuff. Just get the most prettiest boys of age, adult men, and then essentially when when the right wing oligarch billionaires think they're safe, I pop out, surprise, click 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 click. Yeah, that's right. Right now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna lobby for basic universal health care. Yeah. Or else this will be out on the internet. Guess what, Elon? Your butt is mine. You're gonna serve the people now. Okay, enough of my terrible dark humor. All right, let's go back to the work. And then I high five the people I've hired. It's like, I told you. Oh, okay, yep. Yeah, this is bad. Politicians win basic human rights. Yes, yes. You know, it's like people talk about. It's like it's like, oh, I hate the Republicans. I hate the communists. It's like, let's hate our healthcare system. Let's do that. Let's band together and bully some doctors. You know? Let's bully them. Shove them in lockers like we used to. Okay, for a second I was kind of concerned. I thought like my humor would have scared you off by now. Up. And guess what? 61 subscribers. Big toe. You see this? 61. We are 8 away from 70. Politicians with basic human rights. Oh! No, please don't make me. Whoever subscribed, thank you. Thank you. You're beautiful. And I love you. Platonically, of course. I don't know. I don't really, know you like that, and I'm like, I never really been in this type of, in a relationship before, and I'm scared, and I need to find the right person, and it's just going too fast. I'm sorry. Yeah, but no, 61 subscribers. Thank you. I think I remember having some high school friends who wanted to get into the YouTube game, and their videos were actually pretty entertaining, but then like they just stopped after 3. And it's like I was kind of concerned because or like scared, because essentially it's like I never really thought I could be good at YouTube, and I still to some extent don't. I feel like I think being like getting to I know that I'm never going to get 1 million subscribers. I know I'm never going to be Mr. Beast. I know I'm never going to be Kai Cenat. I know I'm never going to be I Show Speed. Those people, that's their world, and I've accepted that. And quite frankly, I prefer it that way. But to put myself out there and to figure out that people are actually kind of interested in what I'm doing is something that will always be new to me, because I've lived such an insular life, and I was always kind of like the kid that wasn't exactly all that popular. So this is something that's like very new. I mean, I had friends, but they were all acquaintances. Never really had any girlfriends. I never really exactly really. I never really thought I was cool. You know. So yeah, to you know, essentially make an impact through creativity is always something that that's fun. You totally watch my long form content. Ah, thank you, thank you. And quite frankly, I should thank you for giving me something to to like to flex over. You know, some of my friends, my old high school buddies, they're like they have like 25 subscribers right now. Right? Yeah, you're funny, and also don't wish death on people for no reason. I mean, all right, yeah, yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't know. I feel like every human being is flawed, and it's like, yeah, I am. We have those moments, but for the most part, you don't actually wish that that they actually pass. Like, I don't know. For example, I don't want to get into politics. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, but it's like you have for example, Charlie Kirk, the political pundit who was recently assassinated. Now, I'm not a big fan of Charlie. Quite frankly, I disagree with like every one of his points, and I think that his points, his ideas, you know, they they take a huge part in radicalizing young men into like far right ideologies. But in the end, I like when I found out that he died, and when I found out that in the manner, you know, I kind of felt bad for him, especially for his family. Imagine like losing your father in that way. Imagine how horrifying or brutal that would be. So yeah, no, I don't, of course, it's like you could like talk, it's like, oh, I hope life would be so much better if they didn't exist. But in the end, when something like that actually goes down, your human empathy for some people, I don't know about the others, takes over. You know, so and you don't, and you basically like see that's like, oh my god, it's like, yeah, exactly. Got a good head on your shoulders. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm kind of sad that he died. You know, I was hoping that he'd like, stay around longer and we could like make more memes about his like weird gummy smile. But now that he's actually passed, it's like, oh no. It's like, where's this going? Are like the Republican pundits like Tim Pool actually correct? Are we gonna actually have a civil war? Like, I don't know. I don't think I want that. I don't think I have enough change to hightail it to Canada. I don't want to fight in a civil war. It's lame. You know? But, that's just that's just me. Yeah. Yes! I can't even make jokes about his jawline anymore. Oh my god. That hurts. That hurts, bro. I can't make jokes about your five head, your weird smile. I can't make jokes. Jokes about how chopped you are. It's not fair. It's like, what am I gonna do? Make jokes about, make jokes about, who am I gonna make jokes about now? Trump? It's been done to death. It's not the same. We've all done the Trump, impression. It's not funny. Only Shane Gillis can make a Trump impression funny. When you do it, people just look at you like you're corny. And they're right, because you are. Rest in peace. Matter of fact, hold on. How do I like this? How do I like this comment? You know what? I'm pinning this. I can't even make jokes about his jawline anymore. Matter of fact, hold on. Going to your channel. Subscribing. You have 217 subscribers? Well, guess what? You have 218 now. You know what? I think, yeah, I'm just gonna save this and transition over into something else. You're laughing your ass off right now? Thank you. No. It's great. It's good. Honestly, laughing makes the hard times less painful. It's a good coping mechanism. My lighting is godly. How? Oh yeah, practice. Also, I look at professional artists in the industry who are doing way better than I am, and I have it like right next to my painting, and then I compare myself and flagellate myself. It's like, come on, get better. Why can't you be like this guy? No, that's a joke. Pinterest. Pinterest is actually like a really huge help. It's a good resource for reference. Quite frankly, I have multiple folders on Pinterest. One with like influences, and the other with essentially just reference that I just take and implement into my paintings. And quite frankly, there's a lot of like model photos, there's a lot of like lighting references, it's really, it's really useful. Honestly, Pinterest has been a huge help when it comes to. Yeah. I've heard about Pinterest essentially like a while ago from like an old like. At first, I had an old college friend, who was an old high school friend, who basically knows a guy who does tattoo artistry for a living, and he uses Pinterest all the time. And quite frankly, he has a successful career, but you know, but granted that doesn't exactly like have to do on anything, but you know he has a pretty successful career, and I think like it's like hey, Pinterest is like a pretty affable tool, and so I use it. So yeah, I don't know if you're in the stream now, which it's like use Pinterest. NWI Samurai subbed. Well, holy moly. Night Yokai Samurai, you've essentially made my day. You are putting me so close to my goal. You're my hero. You are my hero. And I love you. Platonically, of course, but thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I did not know what I did to deserve this. We have never crossed paths once. You know what? I will sub back. You have 70 subscribers? Well, guess what? Now you have 71. You have 71 now, bro. And might I say, that gaming channel looks sick. I don't play video games because I want to reach my goals faster. But when I have free time, be a really good artist and have a chill stream is what you did. Well, there are dozens of better artists with even more chill streams. I didn't know. I'm not really a chill person. I overthink. I frequently get into arguments with my family. Sometimes my dad has to, come into my room and is like, why is there piss in the toilet? Why is there piss? You forgot to flush? And it's like, no, it wasn't me, despite the fact that it was me. I'm a person with flaws. But you gave me, gave me a chance, and I appreciate that. Yep, there's my bottle. And normally, it's like I thought I'd just be alone streaming forever. I mean, quite frankly, you know, there are days where I am just alone in here. Rip my bottle. Oh, don't worry. It's Hydra Peak. It's basically a ripoff of Stanley Cups. They're tough. They're tough. They can take a beating. They can take a beating. I've been using this bottle for years. And strangely enough, it's like a lot of people I don't know, it's not a lot of people. It's like my dad also sees like the work that I've been doing on the stream. It's like, it's like, good job. Good job, son. It's like, yes, parental, and then like, it's like, I'm like, okay, Dad, thank you. And it's like, when I'm alone, it's like, yes, parental approval, let's go. Yes. I'll subsist off of that, psychologically, for years to come. And if you want a better visual of my father talking to you about like what I do on here, my father looks like he looks like Denzel Washington did the fusion dance with Gus from Breaking Bad. That's my father. That's what he is. It's my father. Gus from Breaking Bad doing the fusion dance with Denzel Washington. That's what it looks like. Yes. Because in the, I don't know, it's like validation. It's like an external validation. It's like people like to talk about, it's like, hey, you don't need validation. But it's like validation is like a very important thing. Because essentially, it's like it's like a marker to show you like whether you're going like on the right track in life. And also, like, I'm doing this every day. It's like it's like a practicing it's practicing discipline. Normally, people would just do this 3 times and give up. And normally, like, I just challenge myself to just keep on doing it and keep on doing it and keep on doing it, even if no one's there. Like, my eye is on like the watching now. It is like scrolling up and down, up and down, up and down. Most people will be discouraged by this. I'm a little discouraged by it myself, but gotta keep going. But I wish I had the same discipline when it came to the gym. Because if that were true, I'd be in better shape by now. I mean, granted, I'm not like, I'm not horribly out of shape. Thank you. I'm not horribly out of shape. But I am not buff. Granted, there are like people in my family where it's like, it's like I'm in a better place than they are, but it's like I feel like if I really took myself seriously when it came to my physical fitness, I'd be more confident, and I'd be in a better place mentally with myself. Also, career wise, one, because it's like when you're like more confident, people want to give you like more like career opportunities. And so far, I'm just like I'm very self-deprecating. I'm very like to myself. I barely talk to anyone. And it's like if you're more confident and outgoing, people want to be around you. And I feel like I'm lacking a little bit when it comes to that. Swimming. I mean, okay, I'd have to find an indoor pool because I live in New York, and that might, it might be hard to do, especially with fall or Halloween just around the corner. But yeah, okay, swimming. I think I should challenge myself to be more disciplined when it comes to the gym. You got confidence by being delusional? Nah, man, I'm an overthinker. I can't, I can't be delusional. I don't know. It's like the argument. I have like a. There has to be some reasoning as to why I'm confident. I know it's stupid, but you know, I need to have something in my reservoir where it's like, oh yeah, I did that. I have reason to be confident. I have reason to believe in myself. You know, it's like I don't know. For some reason, I can't do that without a reason. I can't do that without any reason. And I just if I feel like a loser, if I feel unproductive, then it's going to show. And that's when I'm at my worst. That's when I'm at my complete worst. But if I have something to look to that I myself have accomplished, you know, then yes, I shall be confident. You hate phone typing so bad? Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? Especially, but if you have like specific, if you have like big fingers, it's like it sucks. Texting your friends is just so difficult with big fingers, and typing in chat rooms is so difficult with big fingers. Okay. Any Yep. No, like in life, like being unemployed. That takes a mental toll on somebody. More specifically, me. I don't like being unemployed. It makes me feel bad because I know it's like I feel useless, like a leech. But yeah, no, this is being productive. This is being productive. Yeah, no, no, I have a job, but yeah, no, yeah, it is rough. The job market is rough. It's not good. It is not good. Honestly, like, I have a friend. He's living with his boyfriend right now in Philly. Like, he's been looking for a job for years, and so far, it's not nothing stable has come along, and it's been really hard for him. I should really call him because granted he has like his boyfriend to keep him company, but I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but like probably met like I think he met Kevin like a year and a half ago, and I feel like living with a person a year and a half within meeting them is a bit too quiet, a bit too fit, a bit too fast. And granted, I feel like that could be like I could be like a, it's like if I call him, there's a, there's I don't know, it'd be a good outlet for him. But that is neither here nor there. That's just me, you know, talking. Gotta stop doing that. Yep, here we go. So there's some. Yeah. I have a coworker. Uh, she met someone within the school, and like immediately kind of like started dating her, and like after 1 year in, they're living together, and it's like why? It's like take slow down, chief. Like, like you don't want to take your time. You don't want to like get to know this person better. Gotta go for a sec. All right, go ahead, take your time, man. Take your time. Cause like me, I'm taking my time, taking my good old time. In the beginning, the only time that me and my female partner are sleeping in the same bed is when I sleep over on the weekends. You know what? Speaking of speaking of being predisposed for a second, I need to refill my water bottle. Breathe all breathe. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. You know, I'm back. I agree with you. Liz overcomplicates everything. Yeah, I am not. No, not doing that. So it's like, there's nothing wrong with waiting. There's nothing wrong with patience. There's nothing wrong with taking your time. I understand, the emotions are high. And, it's like falling, being enamored with another person is a very, unique feeling. And you want more of it. And who knows, maybe I'll make the same mistakes. I never had a relationship before. But in the end, it's like, I want to make sure that this is a good thing that I'm kind of like getting into. I want to make sure that I don't make it like I'm not doing something like stupid when I'm shacking up with you, you know. Because, yeah, it's like, oh, it's alright, like you and I care about you. But, I always lose myself in these situations. I don't want to be the guy where it's like, every time he gets into a relationship, he loses everything. His boundaries, everything that makes him him, and he's just, he's just this, he's just a shell of himself that's constantly pushed around by, a mean, verbally abusive woman. It's like, I'm just the guy that goes, yes, dear. I'm essentially kind of like the guy that, it's like, hey, kid, you want my advice? Never get married. And it's like, dude, you obviously hate your wife. It's like, why are you here? Divorce her, please. Never get married, kid. It's a mistake. It's like, you're obviously unhappy in your relationship. And it's like, you're afraid to leave because you have kids with this chick. And it's like, well, I don't know. If you want your son to have like a good, good representation of what a healthy relationship is or what to do, just, show him by, it's like amicably, like, breaking up the marriage, and whenever you get, like, visitation, like, it's like, hey, son, it's like, just because, me and your mom aren't together anymore doesn't mean, I don't love you, This is me, this is my new wife, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But nah. I don't know. But that's just me rambling. That's just me just talking nonsense. Okay. Just trying to make this skeleton look not trashy. I need some more reference. Nah, I think the skeleton looks good. Thank you, Dead Set. Thank you. Danke. Skull Knight. You know, I have art classes. They're going to be online. I'm not sure how many hours they're going to be. But soon enough, I'm going to have to... it's not going to stop, but, you know... Probably 3 hours from like 6 to 9. I can still make it. I can still make it. I'm a hard worker. Not the monitor did it. The light. I don't know. Sometimes like the lighting settings, the monitor, it just kills me, dude. It's like you're killing me here. Yeah, you're killing me, dude. Get out the way. Skull Knight statue. Alright, it's better. It's better. You know, it's not exactly like, you know, the real thing, but hey, I could just I could just paint over it. I could just, they're not in the same group, so it's cool. Am I drawing on a tablet? Just asking. Yeah, I'm drawing on an XP Pen tablet that I got way back in, like, I think, after graduation? 2021 or 22. I had recently did a weed logo for my cousin. He gave me $600, and I decided to essentially kind of like buy this on a whim, because, well, it's like I wanted to basically kind of like I didn't want to like draw on like a tablet that didn't have a screen. I wanted to look down at the screen and, you know, draw on the tablet, because I thought it'd make digital drawing or digital inking way more easier. Yeah, it turns out, you know, like for the getting it to work was kind of difficult a little bit. It holds up well. Yeah, it holds up well. Getting the screen to turn on was a bit difficult, and I had to basically kind of like use a specific like HDMI cable just for it to connect. And you know, and in the end I had to basically like replace my very old Mac that I got way back in high school with a PC now. And in the end I'm still drawing like I digitally painting like I used to, but the screen just there's no screen here, and I'm just looking at the screen, looking at the monitor, and it's just, you know. How old are you? How old am I? I just want to know. I'm 19, by the way. Okay. I am 25 years old. I was born December 3rd, 1999. I am, I think, 5 years away from being 30. Oh, no, actually, no, 4 years away. Because I think, nearly 4 years, because, like, essentially it's like, December is like, what? 3 months away? So, yeah, no, I'm 25. The perks of being 25, I'm not sure. I don't have to ask my mom permission to go anywhere anymore. That's pretty cool. The cons, whenever I tell kids my age, they immediately call me Unc. And I have to hold back, rage and not yell at them. It's like, Unc! I'm not Unc! I am 25. All right? I'm not unk yet. When I'm 45 and have 2 kids, okay, then you can call me an unk. But 25? That's unk? You know, I have to hold that back. And not, and not commit, not commit a crime. It's like, you assaulted a child. How do you plead? Not guilty. Little turd called me an unk. Why, thank you, Andy, my arena. I'm glad you think it's cool. I worked really hard on this. It's hard though. I think I need way more reference for Skull Knight. This is really rough. Manslaughter, yes. I love how you even like put in the sparkles. Manslaughter. How do you plead? Not guilty. You called me unk. Turd. Matter of fact, I'm doing that kid a favor. At some point, the world's gonna kick his ass one way or another. If I don't, then who will? If I don't, then who will? And then, it's like, 50 years. Boom, in the slammer. And on the first night, I have a prison boyfriend named Tyrone. On visiting hours, I come in. It's like, Mom, everything's gonna be okay, and she's crying, and it's like, I look at my dad. It's like, take care of her. Then I walk up. They see the booty shorts, and I walk away, and that's when my mom starts crying even more. It's like, oh God, my son's in prison, bitch. Oh, I'll never get grandkids now. And, that's what happens. That's my age. Am I a sus man? What? No. What do you mean I'm sus? Not the booty short. Yes. Yes, the booty shorts. It's prison. It's rough. It's not, it's gonna break you in one way or another. I'm not sus. I am quite heterosexual. I can't prove it because I am terrible with women, and so I'm just like, I'm in a terrible situation. I'm in a terrible position right now. It's like when you're accused of murder, and you didn't do it, but everyone's just so dead set on believing that you did it that every time you try and convince them otherwise, they become that more sure that you did it. And it's like, damn it, nothing I'm doing is working. Like, you're just like at the wrong place at the wrong time. You're just in a rough position. That's where I'm at. at some point when I reach 30 and I still don't have a girlfriend, that's when people ask, it's like, are you, and it's like, no, I'm not. But, did I get convicted of murder? Hey, you're the one who typed in, manslaughter, dude. I didn't. I was just going along with the joke. You typed in manslaughter. I'm just pulling a joke where I can from the chat. They'll never find the body. Maybe. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Jesus. Okay. I think. I don't know. I think I'm gonna call it here. This has been a solid almost 1.5 hour stream. I could go for a couple more hours, but even with a part-time job, I don't really think I have like the luxury to like go for like an all-nighter. So this is pretty much it. So if you're new here, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. You could have like given any other person a chance, but instead you came to this stream, and for that I'm eternally grateful and humbled. And to the new subscribers, thank you for subbing past the sub goal. I was aiming for 60, walked away with 62. I never really thought, a lot of people would like tune in to see me paint, but, I guess I was wrong. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kind words. And if you're gonna walk away with this stream with anything, any lesson, keep on making stuff. Don't care what screw AI. Never stop drawing. And be disciplined, because discipline can take you to pretty cool places. My stream is growing. It appears so. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we'll see. This has been Jacobo Emiliano. This has been a stream, and I hope you liked it, and I'm glad you joined me. Goodbye. Oh wait, I need to save this first. Save. Save. Oh, I already saved. Alright.